Cool. Oh, I forgot to share my screen. Let me do that right now. We can get started. All right. Share my screen. Oh, make selection. Share this window. All right. All right. GM1 and all, how is it going? Welcome to our weekly All Hands for August 13th, 2025. We're going to use this time to sync up on the work going on around BCard, eliminate blockers, and prioritize our work for the next week. So in case you're wondering what we do, we go here to learn more. I was looking at this page yesterday because I was kind of like wireframing a little B Foundation site. And I think it's worth just like taking a peek at it. Maybe we'll take a peek at it in September again. But the idea is like the only solution to top-down control is bottom-up initiative, and that's what we're trying to enable. So we're helping to help purpose-driven communities by using Web3 tooling to generate revenue and engagement. And we do that by bridging the UX gap between Web3 and the real world. We have a couple of products, BCard Vault, Taxman, BCard Debit Card, and we're working on community pages. And that community pages is going to set us up to kind of run experiments on how we can enable communities in the future. So that's really where we're at right now. I thought it was worth sharing that why BCard. I was like kind of working on it, or rather consuming it last night, and I think it's still relevant to what we're doing. Another thing I wanted to mention is, okay, so we have the BCard Foundation. I started calling it the B Foundation, and I got a website address for it, bfoundation.me, just because this was like months ago. Just because BCard, it just doesn't like scale in terms of a brand across like all of our products, and so that's why I was like looking at the B Foundation. So the idea is that like BCard is like one of the pieces of this kind of puzzle that we're putting together at the B Foundation. And yeah, I think that there's some interesting other products that we could create. I don't want to get into all of them, but I just wanted to kind of contextualize us because I was doing that last night and I thought it was very useful. All right. On our lag metric side, we have plus 800 transaction volume. This is driven by 2 weekly transacting users, so it's probably just one user who got us that extra 800 in transaction volume. 0 new users, 11 communities deployed. Just a note, we're going to be updating all of the lead and lag metrics, hopefully by September 3rd. So the next 2 weeks, there are no all hands. I'm going to be traveling those 2 weeks. I think many other members of the team, Tom and Arkusi, have told me that they're going to be traveling as well. So just time to take some well-deserved break, relax, hang out, and yeah, in September 3rd we'll be back here, continuing on, and hopefully people are refreshed and ready to move. I'm going to continue to do some work in the background, just on stuff that I haven't gotten to do. Also like answer support questions and that kind of stuff. But yeah, so feel free to continue doing what you want, but if not, no harm, no foul. And I think that taking that time off is honestly is really refreshing to me as well. So hopefully you have some time that you can take as well. And so if you do stuff while we're not doing the all hands, just stick it in the What Did You Ship channel. In general, that What Did You Ship channel is you can put stuff in there at any time. It's all asynchronous. Oh, and I forgot to put added all of the above to the notes. So I'll just put that in here too. But yeah, you can just stick your any kind of thing that you shipped into the What Did You Ship channel, and we will make sure to clear it out the next time we meet. All right. On a milestone perspective, creating revenue and engagement is our game right now. We have 10 weekly transacting users. On the support side, Tom, did you want to give a quick update on the stuff that you've been working on with Homie?
Sure can, yeah. So as everybody is aware, there was a outstanding issue for our one specific user. We had a real hard time reproducing that issue for any other user, and so we were kind of stuck troubleshooting back and forth with Homie to try to figure out what the problem was in our code or her user account or her user object. Early on, I was convinced it wasn't anything related to us. It was probably something local to her device. Later testing by Lynx proved that was not the case. There was definitely something going on our end. So I did some deep dive into the current user authentication system that we had set up, made several corrections into improve the flow of the login process, which was able to reveal to me sort of the error that Homie was experiencing. So then from there, and a little more back and forth with her, figuring out what was the main root cause of the problem, it actually traced back to she's been regularly using the card. She has several automated payments and whatnot set up on the card, and she's accumulated a large number of transactions. So she was over 550 transactions on her card. A lot of declines, not all valid transactions, but the length of that transaction queue, when combined with the obfuscation algorithm that we've written for storing the local user data, was causing an overflow of one of our algorithm functions. And so my solution for that was I created a sanity system that parsed through transactions. And right now I just set a limit of 500 max. So the 500 most recent transactions will be downloaded and displayed in the app. And I added a little note at the bottom to tell everybody that that's the current state of the situation. So that seems to have resolved her problem. I think she's able to log in and everything is working A-OK for her. So hopefully she was our canary that found that problem before it became widespread issue for a lot of people. And hopefully moving forward, that won't be an issue that we have anymore.
Nice. That was a tough fix, huh? But pretty interesting, right? We get to a little bit of scale, and then we fix it, and then hopefully we can continue to do that as we move forward. So great work on that investigation.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of different levels, right? So the first thing was, a problem with the way that I had set it up was not even allowing me to see what the problem she was having was. So that was my first fix, and then hopefully, yeah, it's all good now.
Sweet.
Always, software is a moving target. It's always got to be improved steadily, right? Nothing is static and fixed forever, so we're always moving towards making it better.
All right. Moving on to 10 users a week on the community pages. I don't think much progress, at least not from me this week. How about from you, Tom?
Nope, nothing in addition to what we're working on so far.
Yeah, so one of the things I noticed with the login page is that it works on the login page and you actually do get logged in. But the issue is if you are wanting that kind of information to be available in some of the other widgets we have on the page, you're going to have to do a little work to make that the case. So I'm going to add that to kind of this like whole login flow functionality. Previews and auto deploy. This is really just around the way that we build the site. Right now I'm just like manually dragging and dropping it. And then finally snapshot functionality. This is kind of the first piece of functionality that we're going to be putting up on the site, so you're able to vote on our monthly snapshot proposal. And then after that we'll add other things, like for instance, every time I have an event, I give out POAPs, and they are one of the most popular thing. Everyone always wants a POAP. You can actually see them in your Farcaster Warplet if you have that, and it's so we may add the ability to see the POAPs that you get from attending one of our event meetups right there. Also, depositing into the pool. Well, it's completely possible to do that. In fact, you know what? One of our regulars is a Pool Together dev who has created a bunch of deposit functionality in the past. I wonder if I could ask him to add that to our website. But if I wanted to do that, I really need to get some of our login functionality down so that he actually has the wallet address available to him. Anyways, all this to say that that is another piece of functionality that we'll want to put on there: the ability to easily log into easily deposit into a pool right from that front end there. And yeah, we shall see. Oops, clicked on the wrong thing there. the in-app voting and endowment fund, I put the July vote up yesterday. So please go ahead and vote. We have 5-ish events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of them from Freestyle Fridays and 2 of them from one of the members of the Toronto meetup group who was just doing a couple of meetups. So that Toronto person actually had 3 meetups, and I kind of forced them into 2 spaces because I didn't want one person to have like half of all of the meetups on there. So yeah, in general, it's up. Go vote. Go check it out on your BCard app, and I'll be sharing that on socials today. And also for the endowment fund, for the nouns prop that Shelby wrote and I edited, I have been trafficking it. I went on Twitter Spaces last week, and then the Nounsel Discord as well last week. I also got 2 offers to back the proposal. You actually need 3 nouners to back it. I got 2 offers to back it, so probably will need at least 1 more. But the person in the break even movement, 0x Dusk rather, he also was very interested in the proposal. So I think I can get the 3 to back it to move it forward, but I'll need to change it from a proposal to a candidate. So hoping to get that done this week. I'm just going to make a couple of changes based upon the feedback that I got in those 2 calls. Update the prop and put it up there, and hopefully it will. I'll be able to get those proposals, those backers that we need. So yeah, moving forward from there. I'll also have to create a multisig for this, and I was asking Splits if it could potentially be a Splits multisig. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to do this was going to be way cheaper for me to create a Splits multisig because they pay for it rather than me. So than a safe multisig. That being said, I'm not quite sure if Splits is ready for this. Basically, we'll have to create it, and then we'll have to like swap it, bridge it, and swap it. Maybe it's okay. I'm gonna check it out before I see it. Ask Humpty for to back the proposal. Shelby, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you probably could. I don't know that you
Yeah,
would,
so
but
I did ask Humpty, and he he was saying to make some edits and then tell him again after we made those edits. So that's what I'll do. Did you wanna poke Humpty too? I think you've worked with him before in the past, right?
yeah, but a long time ago. So no, no, I was just saying I didn't know that you were
Okay.
going to talk.
Yeah, so I'll poke him, and after I make the edits, and we'll go on from there.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'll see about the multisig. I have to create the multisig before I can put it on chain as well. And the multisig is going to be me and 2 nouners, so that the nouners can take back the money if they are not happy with the way that we're using the yield. All right. Working on our own community. So we're working on historical accounting, blog post, and posting the top token earners on social. Arcusy, any updates on this?
Not really, but vacation mode kind of forced me to like. So I've cleared my desktop and I went through and I closed all my tabs, and which included a bunch of like irrelevant accounting stuff. So I'm like, at least going on vacation mode has given me a fresh start.
Nice. Way to be.
So
Fresh starts always feel good.
yeah, so we'll see how it goes when I get back into the mode. But there's a lot of garbage and stuff that's been cleared out.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have those kinds of like clear out times when you're just forced to get away from it all.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
Well, yeah, and you know, and like going somewhere and doing something for vacation kind of seems to be something that forces me to do that. So if I don't get anything else out of vacation, at least I get that.
Yeah, I think so too. It's
It's
cool.
the fresh
So I'm assuming
start.
no progress on this stuff, and I know you're going on vacation for the next couple weeks, so we can maybe ask again in
Yeah.
September.
Yep.
Sounds good. We also started posting top token earners on social, which I think was interesting. We had a couple people reach out because of it. So we haven't had any new people yet, but I do like the idea that we're kind of like showing people who are contributing kind of publicly because we're a built-in public organization. So I often put it every time I send out those splits. I send out contributor awards on splits. I also send out here are the top contributors for this week in our Discord and on Farcaster. And so yeah, just like a little leaderboard like that, which is an interesting little mechanism, which you could probably work to refine a little bit further. But this week we distributed tokens to Homie, who was contributing via, let's say like her support effort. So she went through a multi-week support process with us, and so we gave her 5,000 Black Flag token, aka BCard, right? And so yeah, I guess like it got me to thinking like, what else should we be giving people tokens for? For instance, if people host events, should we give them tokens? If people attend events, should we give them tokens? Other kinds of things? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's an open question.
I say use them. Send those tokens.
Yeah, tokens seek to be free.
When you say, oh, hi everybody. Sorry, I was a little bit late. When you say host an event, do you mean like a matching token? So they get, or do you mean like they get X amount if they host events, or they get a matching amount for however much they get from
Yeah.
the payout fund?
No, just like if you host an event, you get like a fixed amount of token. Like it's kind of like a bounty. Like of that Black Flag token, which is basically our test token and only works for voting.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, flat fee, flat amount.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking like, oh, okay, if you host an event, it's like 1,000 Black Flag token, and if you attend an event, it's like 100 Black Flag token. So it's kind of like 10 times more interesting for you to host an event than attend an event. But yeah.
Yeah, that's also a good idea. You know, it's like attending events. It's kind of like attending a meeting, but way different, right?
Well, it's in
Because
real life, so you have to show up, which is interesting.
exactly, you got to show up. You got to put in a fair amount of effort to actually get there, and then you know these people bring their own thing to the table, whatever that may be. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was also thinking like, oh, it's nice for attendees to be able to vote on which event gets funded, even though they're not getting as much voting weight as like someone who's deposited into the pool, but you're still getting like some voting weight. Like the idea is that like, okay, 100 Black Flag tokens, you're not actually getting a lot of voting weight. Like you're getting like very little voting weight, but um, you're getting something, and it like gets you like, oh, I can vote on this. Yeah, sure. Oh, like I don't have that much voting weight. How do I get more? Attend more events, host an event, or deposit in the pool. Oh yeah, okay, I'll do one of those things, right? Like there's like it's like you dip your toe in, and then there's something else for you to do. Is kind of the idea. Like you're intrigued, you can do more.
And I was just going to say that gives, like, if you give distribute tokens to more people, like attendees and whatever, it gives more people the reason to download the app and to engage with it and do the voting. So, hopefully, it's a way to build awareness.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just writing some of this stuff down because I had a talking about token section down here.
Mhm.
Given tokens out encourages people to care about things like voting. They get exposed to it. for free. Yeah. So let's put a pin in that for a section. You know what? I'm not going to go into the task perspective. Let's just go into what did we ship, and then we'll get back into this discussion because I think it's interesting. So Tom settled all token rewards for July. 500 BCard. Winverse taped and shared this week at all hands. 2K BCard. I prepped and ran the retrospective. 2K BCard. I prepped and attended the Nouncil call. 1.5K BCard. Ran down the new homie bug. 1K BCard. Refactored the process user and user auth flow. 4K BCard. Does that make sense? Do these make sense to people? Yeah?
Yep.
All right, awesome. So I worked on the did a working op session with Arcusti for 500 BCard. I shared the weekly meet on social for 250 BCard. Testing the app in Split's tech support for 500 BCard. Tom continued analysis on bug hunt, testing, staging, and production deployment with Hopeful Fix and user outbound comps. 5K BCard. I sent out contributor awards, shared on the socials, made in real life event snapshot for July, 1 hour. So that's 1K BCard. And Arcusti worked in the working op session with me, 500 BCard rather, and entering weeks 31 and 32 contributor awards in splits. And that is 250 BCard. All right. Anything else that anyone did this week that we need to throw in here? Well, yeah, let's get back to this idea about tokens. I guess like when you said it like that, Arcusti, the one thing that I guess like came back to mind is I guess like people for the last couple of years, or it's maybe less in more recent years, but in the last couple of years, it was like tokens are marketing, right? And this is how you market your thing. And the way that people were doing that was airdrops. And I think like that marketing mechanism, it didn't feel very sustainable to me. But the idea of giving away small amounts of tokens as like almost like a loyalty thing, and you can get them for free, and you're trading them for your time or your effort, and like that kind of idea felt more sustainable to me. Now we kind of lost the plot, I think, a little bit at Bankless when we were trying to give out tokens in that way. But I do think that like little specific things can turn into marketing, right? Like especially top of funnel. So hey, you attended an event, get this POAP, whichever wallet you got that POAP in will get airdropped 100 BCard, 100 Black Flag tokens. That I feel like is more of the marketing use case because you're just like, oh, now I can vote. That's interesting. Like, oh, I just got a little airdrop for this Black Flag, and yeah. So I feel like that kind of marketing is like kind of like marketing and loyalty combined in one. And that to me is a really interesting area of exploration. Am I making sense? Am I articulating that right?
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I always thought of tokens as principally a marketing vehicle, and definitely airdrops the way that you like throw all that money out there just to try to catch whatever attention you can. It's always a strange mechanism, but
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about this, NF Thinker? Because I feel like you've thought about this in the past.
Absolutely. Airdrops are fun, especially when they're worth a lot of money and you can sell them and pay your rent or whatever it is you want to buy. But I think, as Tom said, it's like throwing honey out to see how many flies you catch. And it can definitely backfire, especially when you're doing large amounts that are then dumped. So I think the way that, I mean, there are plenty of things that we can fault the Bankless team for with in terms of the DAO and how things happened, turned out there. But I liked their airdrop because it wasn't huge I mean, it's $600 at the time, which is still substantial, but it wasn't thousands of dollars that people wanted to dump. It was incentive for people to actually get involved, and there was more there to be earned. I think when you're looking at the token mechanics of what we've got going on here, if we want to lean on events, then weekly airdrops, monthly airdrops, these things that keep people coming back. And yeah, you can turn around and sell it if it had liquidity, but there's going to be less sell pressure on a token eventually when you stretch it out over time, right? So there will be more inclination to hold and do something with the tokens when there is something to do with them, rather than just getting a bunch of, say, ZK token and just dumping it. So yeah, I'm definitely aligned with that.
Nice. Yeah, I like the way that you put it. So one thing I added, like the bankless DAO airdrop left people wanting more, which you didn't actually say, but it felt like you were saying because it was only 600 and there was potential to earn more. So it's kind of like, hey, I want more of this token, not less, right? Like there are still people. I think like people like you, Drost. There are a couple people who really like, and myself as well, where I did end up selling a bunch of my bank, but I still have like, $1.5 million or something like that, right? Like most of the bank I ever earned, I still have.
Yeah, it's that is the thing, really, right? It's an incentive. It's an alignment incentive, and you want people to actually align, not sell and dump on your community. So yeah, leave them wanting more. Absolutely.
Yeah, even to this day, right? Like I asked NF Thinker the other day. I was like, should we sell the bank in our treasury? And NF Thinker was like, feels like we'd be dunking on the community. And it's just like, oh, okay, yep, you're probably right. Like even to this day, when the community is still like, I'm honestly kind of in shambles right now. There's still something there, right? Because it's not just a token, it's not just money, it's something more. It's a symbol, it's a connection.
I never sold my initial allocation as well. I think that I round tripped a lot of bank through like liquidity pools and definitely made a few advantageous like swaps and lends here and there with my bank token. But from a different perspective, for me, I would say that the bankless DAO airdrop was huge. It was I don't know why I was allocated maybe more than hundreds, but to me it was a totally like mind-blowing game changer in terms of like what was possible through general involvement in the space. And yeah, it really opened up my eyes and like made me take notice and made me want to make something of value with sort of that gift, let's say.
Yeah, that's definitely key. You kind of want to convert it into something bigger than what it was when you received it. It kind of reminds, obviously, the bankless airdrop was inspired by the Uniswap airdrop, right? And whatever his name is, forget dude's name, but that was a huge airdrop for people, and it had the potential to really take off, but because of regulatory issues, they couldn't really turn on the fee switch. I know they're looking at that now. There's a potential that they do open. That's why Uni's pumping lately. They're looking at opening a Wyoming LLC or whatever it is, Wyoming DAO. But there was just like people kind of left Uniswap DAO because there was nothing was happening with the token itself. It wasn't accruing any value. And obviously for bankless, people left for other reasons. But for us, what are the things that we saw other communities do that we can try and avoid to retain some of that retention and or improve retention? And then also, as we've seen over the past year, we have lost engagement quite a bit. But I do think a lot of that, like we spoke about recently, a lot of that has to do with the DAO breaking down, and a lot of the people just becoming less involved with DAOs in general. But yeah, what can we do with the tokens? We can vote, and I guess we just need to keep exploring things that we can do with them. Eventually, if we open up, if we add liquidity to the token and open up some monetary incentives, that will get people holding the token, but it won't necessarily increase engagement with the community. So it's kind of just a fine balance between the two.
Yeah, I posted something about that on Farcaster this morning. In fact, so right before this meeting, VC-backed companies are always looking for scale. So it's based on this idea that like, hey, I too believe tokens are our most useful primitive, but why are we minting useless tokens? And it's basically saying like, the speculative use case is the use case that everyone's leaning into. Why you should create tokens that actually have meaning. And I said, VC-backed companies are always looking for scale, and most existing token use cases don't have enough demand, mainly because we're still experimenting on how to use them, so they lean to speculation. It's natural and predictable that they would do so, right? It's essentially it's essentially the only path available to them right now that's going to lead them, or rather the shortest path that's going to lead them to growth, to scale, which is what they need. But let's not all mistake the current use cases of tokens as the use cases that are going to endure forever. The industry's early enough that any single person could create a mechanism that changes the whole game and the whole world. And that could be us here at BCard. And in fact, that is what we're trying to set up with this whole community pages infrastructure. Hey, we have some of this functionality behind the BCard app right now. Let's open it up because tokens want to be free, right? Let's open it up. Let's make it so that anyone can get these tokens, no matter who you are, right? Let's make it so that if you're an event attendee, even if it's the first time, we had a first time attendee, he didn't even have an ETH wallet. And he was like, oh, POAP, what's that? Yeah, I'll get one. What do I got to do, right? And so we like took him through the process of getting an ETH wallet so that he could get a POAP, which I thought was really incredible. But imagine if that was all easy on our little Black Flag Collective website. Hey, just put your email in here. I'll send you the POAP directly. You can now see it on this website. It's yours, right? Like you can do what you want with it. And by the way, just by having that POAP at the end of the month, you're going to get airdropped 100 tokens. So you're going to be able to vote on the next event. Please vote for my event since you're here. Obviously, you maybe care a little bit. But yeah, those kinds of things I think will be exploring those use cases. I think that's why we're here. And I also think that we have a bit of advantage on the VCs. I'm not saying like they don't have advantages over us, of course, but those VC-backed companies, they are always going to be looking for the thing that can scale. It's why you have these creator coins. It's why you have all these kind of like speculative use cases just based upon automatically creating tokens for people. It's because they aren't able to take the time to try to do something grassroots, to try to do something different and new. They need certainty on what's going to work. We don't. We can experiment as much as we want. We can kind of try a bunch of crazy zany mechanisms. And I'll tell you what, one of those crazy zany mechanisms that someone creates, maybe us, maybe someone else, is going to I believe it's going to change the game, right? It's going to create a situation where people actually want these tokens, not just the people in this room, but people all over. And I think that trickle can become a flood if we do enough experimentation. But you got to do experimentation in the right zone, in the right context, in the right mindset. If you're always aiming for scale, I don't think you can get the thing that you want to get. Anyways, went on a bit of a rant there, but I do think that that's really important. Did I kill the convo?
No, not at all. I was grinding coffee. I didn't want to mute. I didn't want to overpower. So yeah, I mean, the idea of getting people to vote on things, the easier we can make that, the better. Because even like I had an email from Giveth the other day, and they said to please vote for us in this it's the SUP, this superfluid token grant. They have to get 5% of the votes in order to still be able to allocate SUP to people. And I wasn't going to vote at all because it's time consuming. It's taxing. And at the very end, it said, "Please vote for us. It takes less than a minute." And I thought, okay, I'll do it. And then I went on and I logged on and I connected my wallet and I voted. And it took less than a minute. But I still knew it's gonna, sometimes there's a problem connecting your wallet. Sometimes there's a problem with this. Sometimes there's a problem with that. So, and that was done through Snapshot. So it's the fewer steps that people have to take, the better. So the easier we can make it, obviously, the better.
Well, that's the DM I used to get you interested in BCard in the first place. Is, hey, don't you think it would be better if we could bridge the UX gap between Web3 and the real world? Don't you think that all this Web3 UX is pretty shitty? And what is the change that we can make to make it better? So yeah, completely agree with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of doodles on Web3 UX and just some brand explorations too with that whole B Foundation stuff. And there's just a real opportunity right now that didn't exist, especially with tools like Privy and some of these other ones, Vocdoni and other kinds of tools that allow us to bridge the gap that was never possible even like 2 years ago. So I think that stuff is useful, and there's some people in the space who are working on it, but I still am not happy with Web3 UX. A lot of people say it's way better, but honestly, it's still kind of shitty. I can't tell you, like people always show up at the meetups and they're like, "Hey, I can't do this thing," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's because you don't have gas on that chain." And they're like, "What? Another chain that I need gas for?" Or just these small UX issues that people are having trouble with, and it's a shame because I think that they have the desire to do something and they can't do it, and it's just frustrating for them. Another thing I think NF Thinker is that we actually have, if we get these in real life events like kind of regular and moving on a regular basis, we have an additional benefit that no one else has, in that we have that kind of like in real life moment where we can say like, hey, vote for us right now. It takes less than a minute. You just got to sign into this website. That is pretty cool, right? Like, vote for us at this time in person. I think people are way more likely to vote if someone asks them to do it in person and says it's going to be a minute and will help them with something, than if they're kind of like off online or something and you get an email. So we'll see. I mean, that's a hypothesis, but we shall see.
Well, I think I would go as far as saying that that's a pretty valid hypothesis without even testing it. I mean, you're checking through emails while you're sitting on the toilet or chatting to your family or whatever it is you're doing, and your attention is already spread thin, so you're less likely to go up on a different tangent. Whereas if you're already there in person and someone says, "Hey, let's do this together," I would imagine there's going to be a noticeable difference.
Yeah, agreed. So those in real life connections there's something there that I think we can bridge the UX gap between Web3 and the real world, right? That's exactly like that. That's what really gets me about these in real life events, is that it's exactly what we're aiming to do with BCard. And then so like I was pitching the idea of Bond Ramp the other day, just like be on ramp, right? Like, so I pitched this a couple of weeks ago to this group, and the idea was just like, hey, you're a new person, so I always have people coming to the meetups and they're just like, hey, I don't know how to move this money out of my Warplet, or I don't know how to like create an ENS or something like that. And it's like, oh, you need gas money. Hey, what if there was a way that you could like do like a peer-to-peer on ramp, so you don't need to do a whole KYC or whatever to get gas money? And I was calling it Bond Ramp, like B on ramp, and the idea just being that hey, if you sign on to this kind of like Farcaster mini app, it like shows who in your city or who's close to you is willing to do a trade, and you can just show up, give them cash, and they'll send you the money. So they're getting an off ramp, you're getting an on ramp, And yeah, that was kind of like the idea. And it was really the goal wasn't for people to move large amounts of money. The goal was for people to meet each other and help each other. And so like when I mentioned that to this group at the last meetup, they're like, "Oh my God, I love this. I like." They're like, "Then we could get more people who need help with this stuff, and they could come to this meetup, and we could just tell them to come here and give us cash, and we would give them the thing, right?" And so um, that in real life connection creates like moments of positive interaction with the technology. Whereas if you're at home alone signing on to Coinbase and first they make you like take a picture of yourself and your driver's license, and your face is not completely obscured, and you have to wait to get to do whatever. That is not a good experience. That is like a negative experience with the technology. Anyways, all this to say that in real life connection, if we cultivate it, if we work on it, that is a massive value add for us, and it is a massive lever that I don't think anyone else can really touch if we build it properly.
I like the name Bon Ramp.
Bon ramp.
Has a good French ring to it.
Yeah, I was working on another idea called Bescrow. So like be escrow, but it's like also sounds like best escrow in a way, right? So Bescrow.
That sounds like crow.
Yeah, and it's basically the idea would be like, hey, it's like an escrow contract that anyone can like there's a front end that allows you to create an escrow contract and like change the terms of the escrow. And the idea is like, hey, this is like the basis of e-commerce on um on chain, because like the thing that's missing from e-commerce on chain is that, hey, you send your money, you just never know if you're going to get it back. Well, any merchant can now create like an escrow contract, and you pay into the escrow contract instead. And yeah, anyways, the reason I mentioned it was because the name Bescrow, I was just like, this is dope.
Sounds like a spreadable cheese.
Bescrow sounds like a spreadable cheese.
That's squirrel. Yeah, I don't know. It's good though. It's all right. I like cheese.
So I had another one for a music service. What did I call that? Oh yeah, B-side.
What
Everything is
B
B.
side?
Yeah, B-side is like a decentralized music thing. So basically, hey, I have a bunch of music, and I give like a link to you and Tom and Artisty and Shelby, and you guys have your own like app on like your phone or something that connects to the link that I gave you, and as you stream the music, I get paid. And it goes into like a split contract, so like some goes to the artist, some goes to the server, and yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Good. Contact Cooper Keeper.
It's all about the B. It's all about the B.
Love it.
Leaning into the B. All right. Anything else we want to talk about with tokens? I think that like, that use case of like I truly believe tokens are interesting. I don't know what that net new use case is going to be, but I think it's just really it's a fun space worth exploring. So I'm gonna explore it regardless of what we're doing. But this is a place for exploration. So if you have any desire to explore, do it here.
I mean, I think we're definitely on the right path, but there's as I say, there's so much that we can explore, and so much that people are exploring. And for me, it always comes back around to brand affinity, or personal affinity to either a person or a brand or a thing. Um, people like what they like, and they're always drawn to what they know, and what they have maybe hold a stake in. Like if I own the stock of a company, I'm more inclined to use that company for my services. Like I have Apple stock, and so I just always buy the the Apple subscription because I figure it's paying for itself by holding their token. So yeah, there's plenty more to explore there.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. Plenty more to explore here. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, no, that's the way that you put it. I really like that. I'm more willing to use Apple products because I own the stock of Apple. Cool. So that's kind of it on, unless anyone has any other thoughts on the token talk. If you want to stick around for a couple of minutes, we can talk vacations. Or we could just end it and have our 7 minutes back. It's up to you guys. What would you guys like to do?
You got any plans? You going anywhere this summer?
I'm going to Montreal, and I'll be hanging out in Toronto, and then I'm going to another cottage with my family, like my parents and sister and brother and their families, at the end of the summer for my dad's birthday. So from now until then, completely packed. How about you?
Nice. We just went to a theme park for 2 days, Monday, Tuesday. That was fun. My girlfriend and my 2 boys. So we rode on lots of roller coasters. And then, no, just kind of work and stuff. My mom is going to be here for a month from mid-September. We're going to go to Ireland for a week.
Ooh, nice.
So,
Love Ireland.
yeah, Ireland's great. So
Where in Ireland are you going?
we're going to do a little road tour because she was
Amazing.
she was raised in Dublin, but she never got out much except for down south. So we're going to go Donegal, Galway, Cork, Kerry.
Yeah, so I did something similar. When I was graduated university, I flew into Dublin, met my friend who was doing like an internship there, and then we just did like a little road trip on buses. We went to Cork, Galway, Kilkenny, and a couple of other small places.
Kilkenny, home of the red beer.
Yeah, so when I went there and I ordered a Kilkenny, they were like, "What the heck are you drinking that piss for?" And I was like, "What?" They don't like it.
No, well, it's the same like Budweiser. Americans don't drink Bud, but Irish love it. I mean,
Really?
Americans do drink Bud, the amount they sell, but anyone with taste. And then in Washington State, we've got Olympia or Rainier. And some people drink it, but it's more like the people who are out of town are like, "Ooh, that's luxurious." So like champagne and hops.
I don't know, man. Kilkenny's an objectively good beer in my opinion, but
I like Kilkenny. Yeah. So, no, Ireland's good though. So looking forward to that. Anyone else going anywhere?
I was just gonna say, personally, I never met a beer I didn't like.
oh really?
Until the following day.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I just there are certainly beers I prefer to other beers, but I think that I like kind of all of them a little bit for their own uniqueness. That's, I think, why I'm a big fan of the craft brew phenomenon that's kind of exploded over the last like 30 years or so. Seeing every local place you go and visit has their own beer, even like on a small enough scale as like my son is a big fan of football team Arsenal, and he is aware of the brewery that is owned by Arsenal that produces beer for in stadium. They've now started like shipping worldwide, so we
Really?
look at restaurants for athletic brewing companies so we can support Arsenal. That's very weird.
That's awesome. I also it pulled up something else, but no, that's a really great example of that brand affinity.
Yeah, I was about to say that's it's like right on point there with brand affinity. Also, something really interesting about the Arsenal stadium is that they have in their bar they have cups that fill from the bottom. Have you ever seen this?
I think I have
I
seen this.
definitely
Yeah.
haven't. That's cool though.
Yeah, just Google the video on that. I've seen it once now elsewhere, but they went in first in that huge stadium, and it like basically eliminates spillage and foam, and so you just get the cup and you put it over a thing, and then you press down and it fills it from the bottom. Interesting.
Got it from the bottom. Now we're drunk.
How does it not come out afterwards? Like, how does it stay in the cup?
It's got like a. That was a good question, Shelby. It's got like a O-ring or something like that.
Spring
Seal.
loaded or something.
Yeah, there's something in it, so it's got like filling up your basketball.
Okay.
What's that?
What about Richard or Shelby? You guys doing anything fun this summer? For the rest of the summer we have left?
Now the kids have football and cheer and all sorts of stuff for the next couple of weeks, so back to school.
Yeah, does school start in like August for you guys?
It does. Yep. Like less than, I think 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. So
For me, it was always like Labor Day is when school starts. So this whole August thing that I'm hearing about, I'm just like, what?
yeah, that's how it was. And I think last year it just switched.
That's
I
crazy.
don't know. Yeah. Yep.
The first thing that comes to mind when I hear that is Americans work too much, but I guess it's school and not work, but it kind of feels like the same sentiment in some ways.
They're just setting them up for the fall.
Well, they get out so much earlier too, though. Like
Oh, do
my
they?
kids got out the second week in June this year, which is usually like closer to the end. So they've been home enough. It's time to go.
Fair
They can
enough.
go.
Yeah, no, my kids definitely got out like basically July and August was their summer. Like their school went until like basically the last week of June. So what about you, Richard? I know you're getting packed and stuff. Doing anything fun?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be exactly fun, but yeah, driving around, I have to deal with some like uh, moving logistic stuff because we're clearing out stuff from my grandmother's old apartment. So
Well, still a walk down
Which-
memory lane, and at least it's
yeah,
it's out of
yeah.
the everyday, right? So that's
Yeah,
something.
although like I met with my aunt though, and she because they had been doing some work in there, or construction people, and so like, oh, you don't want to spend a lot of time in there because it's like it's really dusty and like who knows what's in that dust. So I'm
Oh
like,
no,
that's
it's really dusty in my
so,
parents' house right now too. They've been
yeah,
renovating.
because
It's like,
yeah they're like I guess they were doing like plumbing work and junk. So I don't know. And then it's all the worries about like logistics, like how do I have the right information to go do this or that or whatever. So it's not like quite a vacation, but hopefully it'll be a different or a change of pace.
yeah, it's a good. I mean, even that change of pace is like
Yeah,
sometimes if I'm getting bored of doing laundry, I'll like switch to doing dishes, and it's like it feels like a vacation. But yeah,
and hopefully should have some couple relaxing weekends coming up too. So that'll be good.
all right. Well, I
But
see we're over time now. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was going to say relaxing also in the sense that I probably won't have any internet access, so be completely
Honestly, that's
out.
probably a good thing.
Yeah, so we'll see how I survive.
People survived without internet for at least a couple years.
Yeah.
You'd be okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well, I just want to say thanks to everyone for being here. I think it's really great to have you all here with us. I'm honestly quite excited after doing a little bit of couple creative sessions about what we can accomplish together. So I'm really pumped that we're all here, excited for the vacation to get a little bit of creativity in my brain again. And yeah, thanks a lot, Tom. I see you've unmuted though.
I was just gonna say thanks, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and a couple of weeks. Enjoy some sunshine when you can.
Ditto. Thanks a lot, everybody, for being here, and see you in 3 weeks or around the halls.
Hi, guys.
Good luck with school, Shelby.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.